Pat went to school together. He asked me to. There he is.
Shout out to Pat.
Pat Reynolds right over there. We were old schoolmates. We went to Franklin about 100 years ago. You don't want to admit anything.
Man, awesome. So, how'd you even get into music? Let's talk about it.
Okay, well, there was a log cabin about 100 years ago. No. Actually, I started singing when I was about 6 and playing drums when I was about 6.
Wow.
Of course, when I saw Michael Jackson when he was little,
Yeah.
you know, and that's what got me involved. And I've been singing and playing ever since. So we moved to California. We were born in Chicago, started playing in Chicago,
yeah.
and then moved to California.
Yeah. And you started singing and drums.
Yes. When we went in Franklin, I started the high school, you know, jazz band or marching band.
High school. Ooh.
You know, along with Pat.
So, like when school ended, what was like the transition? Like, okay, I'm in school, but now I want to do this professionally.
You know, it's funny because it's all about connections. It's not about how talented you are, because there's a lot of talented people here in Vegas.
Come on.
Who are not working there, waiting tables, and it's sad. But it's about connections. So I met people that got me involved into the business. And one of my best friends, Jimmy Macon, rest in peace, Jimmy, from Gap Band, got me involved, got me with the Gap Band, and then took off from there. And that's where I got to meet. I spent a month with Stevie Wonder back in the '90s. Lou Rawls, Natalie Cole, Gap Band, Ike and Tina Turner back in the day. You know, a lot of stars. And so I've been playing here since 2000.
Yeah?
You know, doing a lot of nightclubs and playing the lounge circuit, which I call the ham and egg circuit. It's not steak and eggs, it's ham and eggs.
What had you like stationed in Vegas?
Pardon me?
Like why Vegas?
Why Vegas?
Like why stay here?
Okay, because my
Yeah.
parents were here already. I had to leave. Well, you know, I spent a lot of time overseas also. I went overseas for a few years, spent a lot of time in Asia. And when I got back to Los Angeles, the bottom had fallen out of live music. So I had to make a transition to Vegas where, you know, this is the town of entertainment. So I came here and, you know, I've been busy ever since.
Man, that's beautiful. It's beautiful to be creative and consistent, you know, in your whole career.
Consistent, yes.
Yeah, what's your, this might be a hard question, but
Okay.
what's like your favorite collaboration you've done? Like, which band was the funnest to play with? Or I always want to ask.
That's hard to say because
Yeah.
when you're playing with so many groups, so many different times, at certain nights, you had such a great night playing. You know, everything goes perfect. The whole show, the energy, the vibe, the music is beautiful. And that happens not as often as you think.
Yeah.
You know, especially if you're playing on stage. So, you know, there are magical nights. But I'd say the most magical night that I might have had was actually when I did a concert for 20,000 people in China.
Whoa.
So I spent a year in Beijing and
Oh my God.
did a couple of albums there and did a big concert for the flood victims back in 1991.
Man, that is so cool, China.
I had to learn Mandarin. I had to sing part of the song in Mandarin Chinese.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you traveled the whole world then, I'm assuming.
Just about. My wife and I, you know, my wife is a vocalist as well.
Wow.
That's how we met, and we've traveled the world.
Do you guys like?
On somebody else's dime. I didn't pay for a damn thing.
Do you guys like perform together?
Yes, we do. We do it from time to time.
How
you know.
beautiful is that?
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
But you always know who the boss is when you're on stage with your wife. Huh?
Man, that's so awesome.
And she's a lot prettier than me, so.
Stop. Wait, what's your sign? I'm just dying.
I'm a Leo.
Yeah.
Can you tell?
It's giving Leo, yes. What are your future endeavors?
Nothing?
Man, so how do you keep going then?
No, I don't have any future endeavors. What it is now, I'm semi-retired.
Okay.
You know, so I'll just play around town, you know, with the groups, whoever's calling, you know. So I don't have anything specific. I do play every Saturday at the Pass Casino on Water Street in Henderson.
Okay.
With a little 4-piece band.
Yeah.
And then whoever's calling, you know. But I really don't have that much ambition for anything in the future. I'm just gliding along.
Man, I want to ask, because I feel like you have a long list of achievements and stuff, but do you have anything, and it doesn't have to be music,
right,
but do you have anything on your bucket list still that you haven't done?
Ooh, my bucket list. I think we want to just cruising, go on a cruise to
Going
Europe.
to cruise
Yeah.
to Europe? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Man, that's cool. And would you like ideally play music on the cruise, or you just be like, no, I
Yeah,
don't
well,
do music?
my wife and I did a lot of cruises as well, and we sang and stuff like that. So no,
Okay.
I want to see somebody else work.
Man. Okay, so like I have to ask then, like I just feel like you're so music, top to bottom. If you weren't doing music, would you do anything else?
Watching the Lakers, playing basketball.
Hey,
You know,
okay, cool.
but actually lately we've been taking care of some ill parents, you know, so caregiving
Oh, okay.
for
That's beautiful.
elderly folks. So
Yeah,
that consumes a lot of our day.
yeah, of course. I feel like you probably have just so much knowledge and wisdom of things. Like,
I got a lot of stories,
man, come
which,
on.
which I can't repeat here.
But I want to ask, like, is there a gem that you can drop for people who are still in the midst? And this could be for me too, you know what I mean? I feel like
Right.
I'm just in the beginning of my career.
Right.
And, you know, what things should people like me look forward to when it comes to being a creative full time and for a long time? How do I keep going?
Learn to say no. Okay,
Yes.
because people
No.
people will take advantage of your talent, and young people especially who are desperate and want to really get into the business. They want to say yes to everything,
Yeah.
and it doesn't always work out.
Yeah.
So you have to pick and choose where and when you want to do your performances, and you know, and integrity, show up on time. You know, the
Yeah.
little things. It's always the little things. I always tell people I'm not the best drummer in the world, okay, but I do play drums and I do sing, and I show up on time and I do the gig good, you know, and I don't cause any trouble. And integrity and
Wow.
respect for the job, because a lot of these casinos around here, they have a lot of rules when it comes to music and musicians.
Yeah.
It's not like when the mob ran the town. When the mob ran the town, boy, we had everything, you know, carte blanche and stuff like that. Now, you know, it's a little bit different. They've got a lot more strict rules. And, you know, if you're going to represent yourself, have some, you know, self-respect for
Wow.
yourself and for the job
Yeah.
and for the people around you. And, you know, you can't go wrong. You could hate a lot of things, but you don't have to show it.
Yeah, totally. Thank you for that.
And that's what I mean. You could say no.
Yeah.
If a gig ain't paying enough, you can say, no, I ain't gonna do that show.
How long did it take you to realize that?
About 2 minutes.
I just said no.
About 2 minutes. No, I've always had that in me. I've
Wow,
always
okay.
been able to say no.
Yeah.
You know, even if it's a good gig, you know, sometimes you just have to say no.
Yeah. I want to ask one last question before
Sure.
ending it. Always about community and the music community, the music industry. I'm sure it's a lot of ups and downs to it. And I just want to ask, like, how did you find your community and your tribe while growing up?
Ooh, that's hard. To be honest with you, I got dissuaded with the business early on because I grew up in the 60s, with music in the 70s, you know, singing and all that. But that was when music was an art. And now it's become more of a business. And that started happening in the late 70s and early 80s. It became more of a business and not as much an art. And that's back then, that's what bothered me. I have a lot of record contracts that I never signed. Because, you know, the deals were awful. You know, it was always one-sided. And that's you could say no.
Yeah.
You know, but that's what it was. I was thinking to myself, my goodness, the business is terrible. It's just terrible.
Yeah.
And not that many people make it. And not that many talented people, you know, make it that big.
Yeah.
You can make a living, like I said, on the ham and egg circuit.
Yeah. Totally.
But that's how it was. It just dissuaded me. So I didn't like the business.
yeah.
And it's cutthroat.
Yeah. So with that, then you didn't like the business, but like, how did you find your people in the way that maybe helped you like do it better?
Well, it's like networking, connections.
Yeah.
When you're doing a gig, like with other people, I've been fortunate that I was able to meet a lot of famous people. And they steered me in the right direction, or they gave me a name and number and, you know, contact and talk to this person, talk to that person. So you got to go out and hustle.
Yeah.
You go out and hustle, but you better be able to back it up because you have to.
Come on.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Eddy B.
welcome.
I just want to say I loved your energy.
Thank you.
I think
I'm gonna go home and collapse later
yeah, give Eddy B a round of applause.
after I
back.
smoke a big
What
fat
energy
joint.
is.
Or something like that.
Yes, thank you, and yeah, hope I have a. Oh.
I'm gonna do a couple of songs.
Oh man, come on! Make some noise for Eddy B, guys. What? Let's go.
You call my name, ooh, so sweet, to make your kiss incomplete. When your mood is clear, you quickly change your ways. Then you say I'm untrue. What am I supposed to do? Be a fool who sits alone waiting for you. And if you really love me, would you tell me? Yeah. And if you really love me, will you tell me? Don't ever ask me why. I'll never say goodbye to my love. It's understood. It's everywhere with my love. My love does it good. Whoa, 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 whoa. My love does it good. And when the cupboard's bare, I know there's something there with my love. It's understood. It's in the hands of my love. My love does it good. Whoa, 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 whoa. My love does it good. Oh, my love. Whoa, my love. Only my love holds the other key to me. Oh, my love. Oh, my love. Only my love does it good to me. Thank you so much. I'd like to dedicate this song to my lovely wife who's here tonight. I don't know if you're here. She's my love. She put up with my janky ass all these years. She deserves a song. Whoa, 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 whoa. My love does it good. Don't ever ask me why. I'll never say goodbye to my love. It's understood. It's everywhere with my love.